Hi, this is Brett Miller with Custom Software by Preston, and I'm eager to talk to you today about the process of hiring a mobile app developer for your project. Now, you're watching this video, so that makes me assume that you have a great idea for a mobile app, and that's very exciting, and I'd just like to give you the best guidance I can so you're sure to hire the right individual or company to handle that for you. Now, I own a small mobile development company, and unfortunately, I would say probably 40 to 50% of the people that reach out to us are coming off of a bad experience with another developer. And what I mean by that is they hired someone who potentially oversold their capabilities and just wasn't able to deliver on what they said they could do. So it's really unfortunate, and I hear a lot of kind of sad stories of people who worked really hard to save up the money to build a mobile app, and then they don't select the right person. So I want to do everything I can to avert that difficulty for you. So with that being said, the first thing that I would really strongly advise you as the owner of the app to do is clearly document what your idea is, what are the requirements, what the different users can do within your application, how are you going to market this idea, how are you going to make money with this idea, what is your minimal product as far as the minimum set of features that you could start with that creates value. And then the other aspect is how much are you prepared to invest. It's really good to have an idea of what you can invest in the idea and what specifically your idea is before you start reaching out to developers, because this kind of sets the stage for the discussion. So that's kind of the first phase, is get your idea very clearly documented. Then the next thing is to reach out through your network, ideally, to try to find a person that you know, that they know that person. They know this developer or this company. So you can use LinkedIn, you could use Facebook, you could use Twitter. Potentially you could reach out to a meetup group and see if there's someone in the group. There's a lot of different mechanisms to try to reach out to competent developers. And I would urge caution around the Google search, because companies that finish at the higher end, at the top of the Google search engine ranks, they have so many opportunities that they have the ability to easily charge a lot more for their services. And if you're not interested in paying that much for the application, it's no big deal to them. They just move on to the next potential client. So I would urge you to try to be a little more creative, and the best way I've found is through references. I mean, if someone knows this developer and has had a good experience with them, your chances of having a good experience are going to be much greater. So get a few 3, 4, 5, 6 different people to reach out to and discuss your app idea with, and see where it goes from there. But the first thing you want to do is, once you find these people, is have them sign a non-disclosure agreement. You want to make sure that your idea is confidential, and they kind of respect that your rights within that. And there's plenty of examples of NDAs online that you can find and you can utilize. So then what you want them to submit their portfolio to you. And you're going to want to look through their portfolio very carefully, and in speaking with these developers, get an understanding specifically of what they did on the project. So it's not really enough just to look at someone's 10 projects and say, oh, okay, this is beautiful looking and this works cool and I've heard of this idea, because you don't know exactly what they did within those applications. They might have fixed a minor bug, or might not have had anything to do with the user interface, and that's how you're judging that they're qualified. So you want to just get down to as many details as you can and really dig into some of those projects and see how much they're willing to share, see how open they are, and just get a feel for who they are and what value they brought to that particular table. Was this that particular situation? Was this their project on their own, or was it their team's project, or what was the situation? So that's the advice on working through those portfolios. Now, there's a ton of questions that you could ask, and you really just got to get a vibe of what type of feeling you get from the person as far as understanding their capabilities and who they are. So, some of these questions are, do they do design? There's programming a mobile app, and then there's actually building a user interface and making it beautiful. So those are very different skills, and it's interesting to find out, do they do the design work? Or do they work with a team that does design? And it's the same thing on testing. How do they test these applications? Do they have somebody that does that, or do they do it themselves? So what exactly is their process? Excuse me. So Those are a couple good questions. Then you of course want to find out how they price their apps, what the payment terms are, what type of guarantees do they offer or warranties. As an example, our company, we offer a 45-day warranty that if there's any bugs that come up in that period, that we'll fix them for no charge. And that's just good to kind of find out what the warranty is. And as far as payment terms, I would say the norm in the industry is to split it up into maybe 2, 3, or 4 payments, where the first payment would be some money that you put down, and then the other ones would be milestones, and that last payment is kind of held back until you see the full-blown application and you're confident that it meets all your requirements and your needs, and you issue payment once you see that and you've accepted the work, that it meets your criteria. So that's an important process to break out. But it's just all about drilling into their past and drilling into who they are and how they would want to work with you and what is their role in the project, because sometimes they could just be a salesperson for an app development team and you might be working with totally different people, and that's an important distinction to make. Are they the developer or are they just a salesperson? Then of course there's how enthusiastic they are. Obviously enthusiasm goes a long way. How motivated are they to make this work? Those are critical features. But I would definitely have at least a couple conversations with them, see if they're willing to produce any type of documentation or any type of anything for you, just to get a sampling of their feel. Can they show you what one screen might look like? Those things could have a lot of value. And then of course, once you've decided that this is the right person, you want to take a look at their contract in great detail and read all the fine print and see what real guarantees are giving you, and what security you have, and make sure you understand all the terms and get that in place and start building and have some fun. But again, I cannot urge enough caution around the hiring of developers, because you've got to make sure that these are really solid, well-qualified candidates, because it's sort of like a marriage. It's hard to undo, and when there's frustration, a lot of people walk away and leave a lot of great value on the table that they end up losing. So it's really unfortunate. We hate to see that happen. If you have an app idea that you'd like to talk with our company about, we'd be happy to chat with you, and we could work through all these exercises just like I outlined, so that I can demonstrate my enthusiasm and share my firm's background and what capabilities we have, and kind of explain how we're the right partner for you, or if that's the case, because we're not the right partner for everybody. We'd like to be, but and that's true in all cases. I mean, you look at every company isn't the right fit for every single type of project, and we have specialties, as do other companies. So happy to talk with you if you want. Again, Brett Miller, Custom Software by Preston. Good luck on your project, and hey, send me a link once it's built, and I'd be happy to take a look at it and give my opinion. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye-bye.